She watched a human rip an apex predator into chunks like nothing. Tags: alien warrior woman, powerful human, predator encounter, jungle survival, respect through strength, first contact, action romance, primal bond, interspecies tension. Description: on a deadly alien world where apex predators rule, an alien warrior watches a lone human do the impossible, tear a monstrous beast apart with nothing but brute strength. What she witnesses shatters everything she believed about the fragile human race. The jungle of Zharak seethed with heat and death. The leaves shimmered with poison oils. The ground quivered beneath invisible insect burrows. But none of that fazed Commander Avelin, a battle-hardened huntress of the Vilari people, born and trained to conquer these wilds. What gave her pause, however, was a human. He knelt by the stream, his hands cupped, drinking water with bare fingers. No armor, no helmet, no weapon in sight. Just skin, muscle, and silence. She observed him from the shadows above, crouched on a vine-laced branch, narrowing her 6 eyes. How is he alive? She thought. No one entered this part of the jungle unarmed, especially not near the territory of the ravager Moor, the apex predator of this continent. He should have been dead an hour ago. Then the forest screamed. Trees bent. Birds scattered. Something massive thundered through the underbrush. Valen's pulse quickened. The ravager was here. The human rose slowly, turning his head toward the noise. Not away. Fool. Run. The creature emerged, a nightmare of scale and fang, 4 meters high, 12 across, with segmented legs and a mouth like a grinder. The ravager hissed and charged. Valen gripped her spear, ready to jump down. But the human didn't move. At least, not how she expected. He cracked his neck, flexed his fingers, and then roared. Not a cry of fear, a challenge. The jungle froze. The ravager lunged, 100 jagged teeth descending. The human ducked, slammed his fist into the thing's jaw, and snapped it sideways. Valen's eyes widened. The beast stumbled. He was faster than it. The ravager swept at him with a bladed limb. He caught it with one hand, twisted, and ripped it free. Blood sprayed like dark sap. He didn't stop. He slammed his knee into its underbelly, to open its side with his bare fingers, and drag out something vital and steaming. The ravager shrieked once, then collapsed into twitching ruin. Silence followed. Valen couldn't breathe. The man stood over the corpse, chest heaving. Blood dripped from his arms, but his expression was calm, unshaken. He glanced up, straight at her hiding spot. "You gonna watch all day," he said. She dropped from the tree, landing with a thud. "You knew I was there." "I figured something was." "You let the beast charge." "I wanted to see what it could do." She looked him up and down. His body was coated with dense muscle, but it wasn't just size, it was control, grace and brutality. "You have no armor, no blade, no tech." "Don't need it," he replied. She stepped closer. "What are you?" He smirked. "Human." That was not human. "Tell that to Earth," he said, brushing blood from his hands. "We learn to fight before we learn to walk." Valen circled him, curiosity edging into respect. "We believed your kind were fragile, slow, emotional." He tilted his head. "You were half right." "Which half?" "The emotional part." He looked at the broken predator. "But we only get this emotional when something tries to eat us." She almost laughed. "Why are you here?" she asked. He shrugged. "Was dropped here during a recon-op ship got torn apart. Rest of the crew didn't make it." "And you survived?" "Had to. Didn't have the luxury of dying." That answer sat heavy in the air. Valen felt something shift inside her, a thread of admiration curling through old instincts. He was not what her people had told her humans were. He was more. They walked together as the sun sank over Zharak. He showed no fear, only focus. She asked, "What do you call yourself?" "Logan." "I am Dalen, commander of the Vilari Guard." "Pleasure," he said. "Sorry about the mess." She gestured to the predator corpse. "You've earned your place here." He paused, then smiled faintly. "Funny, I wasn't trying to." "Then you are wiser than most warriors." She looked at him again, at the blood drying on his hands, at the steady breath he took even in the predator-filled jungle. He hadn't just fought. He'd conquered, and he'd done it not to impress, but to survive, and that made him dangerous, respected, and to her surprise, intriguing. That night, as they sat near the fire made of cracked bones and glowing wood, Dalen spoke once more. "We have always seen humans as lesser, but today you made me question that." He raised an eyebrow. "And what now?" She met his eyes, unflinching. "Now, I want to learn. From you." Logan leaned back against a rock, relaxed but alert. "Sure," he said, "but be warned. Humans are complicated." She smirked. "So are Vilari." They sat in silence again, two predators in different skins, staring into flame and fate. And in the middle of the deadliest jungle in the galaxy, something began,